Hey guys, it's Kathy. Happy Saturday. Today is day 4 of Inktober, and we're gonna do a woman named Margaret Oliphant, and I'm gonna read you some information about her. Here's what we did yesterday. Just let me check my volume real quick for 1 second. Oh, okay, awesome. I can hear myself. Yay! I hope you're having a great morning. I slept in a little bit. Yesterday was like, I was so tired yesterday that I just didn't get off the couch pretty much after I was done with my streams. And I'm glad, because I'm very intuitive with when I'm tired. I just try and rest. I didn't push through yesterday because I just needed to rest, so I did. And I feel more energized today and ready to get stuff done. So I'm excited. And I'm really excited to do this woman whose life sounded very Gothic, not just some of her work, but she wasn't necessarily like a Gothic writer, but she did write some Gothic stuff. Tales of the Supernatural. So Margaret, let me take off my crazy glasses. So sometimes I wear these because I have these bright lights all around me, so I guess I'm just showing you because I had to take them off for a second. She was born in 1828 and she died in 1897. And 1 second. Just gotta find my phone. Okay, here we go. So there we go. Sorry guys. Okay. Let us look at the art that I did yesterday. Oh, I also brought up potentially use some pen nibs today. I'm not really sure because it's kind of going to depend on if they behave or not. And then if they do behave, then we'll use them. And if they don't, then I'm going to stick with other stuff. But here's how I keep my pen nibs. I keep them in this old, I got this container when I had crazy glue. You know those little mini crazy glues that you can get in the hardware store? Like the little mini packages? So I repurposed it for pen nibs, and it works really good. Cute, huh? Okay. So Margaret was a Scottish novelist and historical writer who usually wrote as Mrs. Oliphant. Her fictional works cover domestic realism, the historical novel, and tales of the supernatural. She was, let me just read you a few little points about her, because we don't need to read like every single thing here. She was born in Musselburgh, East Lothian. She was born at Wallyford, which I don't know. I'm clicking on Wallyford to find out where it is. Scotland. So she was born in Scotland, and she is the youngest, only daughter and youngest surviving child of her parents, Margaret Oliphant and Francis W. Wilson, a clerk. She spent her childhood in Glasgow, Liverpool, and Laswade. Oliphant Gardens, a street in Wallyford, is named after her. She's written since childhood. She had her first novel published, passages in the life of Mrs. Margaret Maitland in 1849. I think she was 19. Wait, no, 21. She was born in 1828, so if she was published in 1849, that would make her 21. And she met a publisher in 1851 where she contributed to their magazine. That was a very, very popular magazine of the day that was around for a very long time. And actually, I think it ended like in the the magazine ran for like 100 years or something. And I think it ended in like the 70s, like the 1970s-ish. Something like that. Let me see. Do I have the information? I don't think so. Let me scroll. I'm gonna get you her life details. She married her cousin, okay? She married her cousin. She had 6 children. 3 of her children died in infancy. And then her remaining 3 children died of other causes before she died. So all of her children died. All of her children died before she did, which is sad. Her husband died too. He was ill. How did he get ill again? He had... I think he would... I'm looking through. I'm zooming. I just, you know, my iPad's kind of not very exciting to look at, but we can look through together. Okay. She had become popular writer, blah, 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 blah. Her husband was an artist working mainly in stained glass. 3 of their 6 children died in infancy. Her husband developed TB, tuberculosis, and for his health they moved in January to Florence in 1859 and then to Rome where he died. So 1859, and she lived till 1897. So he died, you know, if she was 1828, 38, 48, 58. So he died when she was like 31 or something, which is that's very young widow. This left Oliphant in need of an income. She returned to England and took up literature to support her 3 surviving children. She had become a popular writer and worked notably hard to sustain her position, so she worked really hard all her life. Unfortunately, her home life was full of sorrow and disappointment. In January 1864, her one remaining daughter, Maggie, died in Rome. 1864, her one remaining daughter died. So, 18, 38, 40, 58. Okay. So, was she 35, maybe? That wasn't... Wait. If her husband died... Wait a minute. Back up. If she got married in 1852... and then her husband died around 1859, she had 6 children in like 8 years, lost her husband, 3 of her children died when they were infants, and then her daughter in 1864, about 5 years after her husband died, her one remaining daughter died in Rome and was buried in her father's grave. Her brother was in financial ruin. He emigrated to Canada shortly after her brother, I'm talking backwards here. Her brother, who had emigrated to Canada, was shortly afterwards involved in financial ruin. Oliphant offered a home to him and his children, adding their support to her already heavy responsibilities. That's generosity and caring right there. Come with me. I mean, I wonder what the gossip lover in me, like the celebrity gossip lover in me, wants to know. What happened to him? I mean, that's terrible, but I do. I want to know what happened. What was this financial ruin situation? What happened? Let's see. In 1866, she settled at Windsor to be near her sons, who were attending Eton. So she had three of her kids died in childbirth or died in infancy, and then her one remaining daughter died a little while after. So did she have two sons left? I have read all this before, but it's a lot. Like there's a lot of there's a lot to there's a lot of information to, to absorb, and I don't want to get, people confused. So it's a good thing to come to Wikipedia and check out what they say. Or check out their writing or something, some kind of information to share with you guys about them. Because I think things are more powerful, like quotes and stuff, when you know a little bit about, the person that wrote it, Cheers, and what their state was. So in 1866, she settled at Windsor to be near her son. So assuming she had two sons left who were alive, who were attending Eton. Let's look what Eton is. What's Eton? Eton College. Public school providing boarding education for boys 13 to 18. Okay. They had to be older though, right? Oh no, maybe not. Maybe not, because that was 1866. So she was married in 1851, lost her husband in 1859-ish. So yeah, that tracks. She settled at Windsor to be near her sons, who were attending Eton that year. Her second cousin, Annie Louisa Walker, came to live with her as a companion housekeeper. Okay, family. Nice. A companion / housekeeper, so to help her out. Windsor was her home for the rest of her life. Over more than 30 years, she pursued a varied literary career, but personal troubles continued. Her ambitions for her sons remained unfilled. Cyril Francis the Elder died in 1890, leaving a life of Alfred de Musset incorporated in his mother's foreign classics for English readers. Did he write that? Hold on. Must drink coffee. Alfred de Musset, leaving a life of Alfred de Musset. Did he write? I'm wondering if he wrote a biography. It's not really clear. Cyril Francis the Elder died in 1890, leaving a life of Alfred de Musset incorporated in his mother's foreign classics for English readers. Okay, that sounds like he was writing a piece, an essay or something. The younger Francis, whom she called Secco or Kecco, I'm not sure, Cecco, collaborated with her in Victorian Age of English literature and won a position at the British Museum. What position? But was rejected by Sir Andrew Clark, a famous physician. He died in 1894. So her second to last child died in 1890, and her last child died in 1894. With the last of her children lost to her, she had little further interest in life. Her health steadily declined, and she died at Wimbledon on 20 June 1897. She was buried in Eton beside her sons. I wonder, that's interesting. She left, I'm just wondering why they were buried in Eton. Anyway, I know they went to school there, but, I don't know, would that be the only connection? Anyway, I'm so full of questions here. She left a personal estate worth a gross of 4,932 franc and a net value of 804 franc. Cheers. In the 1880s, Oliphant acted as a literary mentor of the Irish novelist Emily Lawless. During that time, Oliphant wrote several works of supernatural fiction, including A Long Ghost Story, A Beleaguered City, 1880, and several short tales, including The Open Door and Old Lady Mary. Oliphant also wrote historical fiction. Magdalen Hepburn, 1854, is set during the Scottish Reformation and features Mary, Queen of Scots, and John Knox's characters. Okay. So here's a portrait of her. And then, I don't know if you can see, it's kind of, let's try that. There's a portrait of her by Frederick Augustus Sandys in chalk. And then Albumen Carte de Visite by Thomas Roger. I don't know who that is. There we go. There's her portrait. Oh, that's a beautiful portrait. Wow. What a great portrait. Look at that. I love how he edged it out with the design of the dress. That's beautiful. All right, so we know a little about her now. She had a really kind of a tragic life. And then I want to show you the quotes that I chose for her. During this month, like some of these quotes that I have that we're going to do, or that I've chosen here, they're just like a conversation starter. I really like these. Like some of them I just feel like are a little bit heavy-handed, or they're worded, you know, for the 19th century-ish, you know? So I like to do what I need to do if I need to like cut out a couple words here or there, you know, with the ... just to show that I had to do that in them. Anyway, I like both of these. I think they're both, you know, make sense for today. All perfection is melancholy. I mean, that's like a universal statement. And then the ideal is the flower garden of the mind, and very apt to run to weeds unless carefully tended. I like that too. And I have a visual for each of them. So I'm just going to go in, because this is going to be like, I don't need to have, like yesterday, I had to have some reference scissors and stuff like that. I'm not doing that today. Today I want to just do some fun little... One of my favorite things to do is to just do like a fun little flower scene. Like do a little flower border all the way around. It's nice. I think I'm going to put on my crazy glasses again, because I'm turning up the light for you. But I don't... Oh, they're on my head. That makes sense. Okay, good. Let's go. The ideal is the flower garden of the mind. So I'm just going to write the quote and start going in, because should we try that? This is such a lovely pen. I love that pen. The Sharpie pen. Let's look at some of these. Let's look at some of my pen nibs here. Should we just dive in with the pen nib? Let's give it a shot. I mean, I might quickly abort mission with the pen nib, because, you know, sometimes I don't love a pen nib. Sometimes I do love a pen nib. I want to try a big pen nib. Let's try this one and see what happens, okay? Because I have a craving to try my pen nibs again. And you know, I don't always love them, but I love them sometimes. They're kind of high maintenance though, for me. Maybe not, you know, maybe not for everybody else, but for me they are a little high maintenance. I'm gonna move you in a little bit. Let's see. Going in. Excuse me. So I decided to do the quote first because I really didn't want to wait to get that in. I wanted to put it in and have it be my anchor for everything else. So it's a little bit, and that's okay. I'm fine with that. I'm going to, let's do, sorry for the bumping around. I just want to make sure you're in frame. Excuse me. My throat. So I think I'm just not going to be talking very much. I'll be talking here and there, but I think I'm going to be just quiet mostly. Thanks for joining me today. Here we are. We're done. So ready to get on with the day. And I just was very quiet today, so I hope that's okay with you. Yeah, I just doodled my way to the finish line with this one. And yeah. So I will be back at 12:30 for a quiet live. So what I'm doing right now with my quiet lives is I'm inking on my iPad in Procreate. I'm working on a project, so it's been very fun. So I'm 2 days in, and I think it might just go to the end of the month. So I will see you tomorrow, I hope, for, let's see, who's next? Catherine Crow. All right, have a wonderful day, and I will see you soon. Bye.